Hey y'all, my name is Edmond and I'm here at the Atlanta Metro Urban Farm. And I have my neighbor and also my friend, Mr. Bobby here, who owns this magnificent urban farm. And in this video, I'm gonna pick some fresh produce to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Mr. Bobby, you gonna help me?
Yes, we're excited today that we still have locally grown fresh tomatoes that's available. We have eggplants that's available, okra, and that's one of my favorites. We have several different herbs, and just look at the peppers.
We call this a mess of peppers.
Yeah, we got a good mess out here. Look at our harvest for today.
So we just made it back from the Atlanta Urban Farm, and we're gonna be cooking some delicious food today. You ready to eat? Let's do this. How about some vegan pomegranate French toast? So for this recipe, I'm gonna be using 2 cups of just egg and then also a half a cup of coconut cream. See, I like to use a thick coconut cream to make sure the batter sticks on there. And for a little bit of flavor, a half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and then also a half a teaspoon of some good old ground cinnamon, just like that. Look at there. And next we're gonna add just a pinch of nutmeg and then just a pinch of pink sea salt. You're gonna go whisk it real good. And you're gonna take about 4 to 6 pieces of bread, lay it out here in your bowl. So we're gonna pour our mixture over. This already smells so good, but you're gonna coat your bread really well. While our vegan French toast is soaking up the batter, we're gonna be making some pomegranate maple glaze. You're gonna use some pomegranate concentrate juice. You do about half a cup. Then also you're gonna get you some organic maple syrup. Gonna pour that into your jar like that. I'm gonna whisk this up. So now you wanna go ahead and get you a large non-stick skillet and you're gonna coat it with some vegan butter. Gonna let that melt. Ooh, I hear a little sizzle action going on there. So you're gonna let that melt around in there. You're gonna go ahead and put your French toast in your skillet. Let that cook for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now we gotta cut our pomegranate up real quick. Cut this up. Ooh, it's juicy. Ah, look at there. So what I do, I use a little spoon just to get a few of the seeds out. Ooh, look at this vegan French toast. We're gonna put some of these pomegranate seeds on top, and then here comes the magic part. Some of this pomegranate concentrate with maple syrup, and then we're gonna add a little mint on the top. There we go. Now y'all know I love cooking, but one of my favorite parts is eating. So let's go ahead and dig into this French toast. Oh, cut so smooth. That's delicious. So for lunch, we're gonna make a tomato basil soup with some crispy fried Indian okra. This is the end of the growing season for tomatoes, so some of these tomatoes have a little bit of spots on them, but these are still perfect tomatoes. So next we're gonna layer our tomatoes here. We're gonna drizzle a little bit of walnut oil on there. So that's gonna give it a nice nutty flavor. Now we're gonna add a teaspoon of pink sea salt. We'll sprinkle it on there. And then about a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, let's put our tomatoes here into our oven. Now it's time to go ahead and put in 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of walnut oil. We're gonna let that melt around really good. And then we're gonna toss in our onions. I chopped up about 6 cloves of garlic, and also we want to add in about a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Just gonna mix it around in there a little bit. So after 10 minutes, our onions and our garlic and our red pepper flakes have all sauteed down. So let's start off by adding our fresh thyme. Then we're gonna add our plum tomatoes. You heard that? Then we're gonna add basil. Then we're gonna pour in our vegetable stock, about 4 cups of vegetable stock. Put your stove on about medium heat and let that simmer. Oh yes, there we go. See those tomatoes? That's exactly how we want them. So now what we're gonna do, you're gonna pour the liquid of everything inside of here. Those tomatoes look so good. These ripe garden tomatoes. This okra came from the garden as well. I like my okra deep fried and laid to the side. So first thing, you're gonna take a pound of okra. You're gonna add a half a cup of quinoa flour and a half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. For some added heat and some flavor, we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of red chili peppers, 1 teaspoon of carom seeds, 4 teaspoons of chaat masala. Now that's gonna have a really great flavor. Gonna mix this all around. Smell like I'm in India right now, but I'm in Georgia. All right, the most important step of this dish is make sure you put your okra on a plate like this. And then we're gonna lightly salt them. Just a little bit of salt. Our walnut oil is hot. Now it's time to fry these babies up. So one thing about frying this okra, you don't want to just put all your okra in there at one time, you know, because it's not going to fry right. It's not going to get that maximum crispiness that you want. So you're going to fry just a couple pieces up at the same time. Oh, a little pop. There we go. As you can see, it doesn't take too long for these to get really crispy. Perfection. And to add a little finished touch, get you a fresh lime, squeeze some lime juice over your okra like that to give a nice flavor. Then, gonna add some more sea salt. All right, our tomato basil soup is ready. And one thing about tomato basil soup, you don't want it to have lumps in it like the vegetables. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this bowl right here and we're gonna strain our soup and we're gonna feast. Look how well this okra looks. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add a little fresh basil to the top. Then also, watch this. We're gonna add a little bit of cracked pepper. There we go. I would say that's popping. You gotta make this recipe. You have to make this recipe. And now it's time for dinner. We're gonna have some vegan stuffed bell peppers with Seitan. All right, so what you wanna do, you wanna lightly oil your skillet. We're gonna throw in our peppers. Saute these for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now it's time to add our eggplants. Then we're gonna add some of our sweet potatoes and our garlic. To maximize this flavor, I'm using some aroma basil peeled tomatoes. That's what you like to hear. And we're gonna stir all this together. Now it's time to season it up. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of pink sea salt, and then we're gonna add red pepper flakes, and then one of my favorite seasonings, and it's good old paprika. It's gonna intensify that red color. It's looking real good. All right, so next we're going to add a little bit more oil to a cast iron skillet, and we're gonna add our Seitan in the skillet. And you're gonna separate this a little bit. This is a brand called Sweet Earth. All right, our Seitan is finished cooking up, and we're gonna combine this into our tomato and eggplant mixture, and then we're gonna add a few cups of wild rice, mixing this all together. We're gonna put our bell peppers, arrange those in our cast iron skillet. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little of the mixture in each of these bell peppers. And then I'm gonna add a little of the Miyoko's pepper jack cheese as a layer. Add some more in there. So you just stuff that in there. Gonna put another little layer of cheese on this one. Our bell peppers are stuffed with our mixture, but another key thing that you have to do whenever you're making this dish is you're gonna have to pour a little water in the bottom of the skillet you're using to cook your bell peppers. And then we're going to coat the peppers with a little of this walnut oil so they get a nice little crisp on them. So another important tip is that you cover whatever you're baking your peppers in with some aluminum foil. Oh, wow. Look at these babies. They look absolutely amazing. The cheese is melted. Let's get to eating. That's so good. And this is very hearty. You got the rice in here. So, if you love what I cook for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, go ahead and comment below and tell me what you want me to cook next. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later.